Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. As usually when I compare devices, I tend to kind of go off of just, maybe like two devices at a time. But in this one, I kind of want to address three devices in this, but basically one device compared to the other two devices. So without further ado, welcome here. If you guys want to try out Helium Mobile, you guys can definitely do that. In the description is my promo code that would get you your first month for free when signing up. So don't be hesitant. Take advantage of that. It's my gift to you guys. So anyways, the last couple of days I've been doing some coverage on the Google Pixel 4a. After picking it up and having it put back into my rotation of devices that I tend to use, I wanted to kind of just showcase how the Pixel 4a has aged by basically giving you guys an overview video and then taking the device with me on a day in the life of me using it, going hiking and going to Halloween stores to shop for Halloween costumes, stuff like that. Carry the phone with me and give you guys my thoughts as I decided to pause throughout my day and just record quick clips to give you guys what I'm currently feeling at the time with the device. But now is the time to compare it to some of the other devices that I have, and those being these two right here, which is the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 and the Samsung Galaxy A53. These are mid-range devices that I feel that are, fair comparisons to the Google Pixel 4a, even though this is a much older device than these two devices, especially against the G Stylus. But I kind of wanted to tell you guys how I felt about both these devices. So without further ado, let's kind of get into it. We'll start off comparing the Pixel 4a against the Samsung Galaxy A53, which these are two options you still can find currently available on the market right now. The Pixel 4a, most people sell them for about $100 or less, so that's a pretty good deal. And the Samsung Galaxy A53, you could probably find it just about near the same price, about $100 to $125 is what I've seen them kind of going for online used. So let me just kind of start off with this. The Pixel 4a against the Galaxy A53. I think one of the strongest points of the 4a compared to the Galaxy A53 is the chip that it's running. The 730G on the Pixel 4a, and this phone is still flying smooth. I wouldn't necessarily call it buttery smooth, but it's smooth enough. Maybe like a few dashes of olive oil on it, right? That's an analogy for everyone out there, okay? Don't put olive oil on your devices. I'm just saying. But it is still a bit smooth. Whereas on the Galaxy A53, even though that it has a newer version of Android compared to the Pixel 4a, the Exynos 1280 seems to be choppy at times. There's times where it smooths itself out, and I have a phenomenal experience with the Galaxy A53, which is the reason why that I say it's still a pretty good phone. But you can't ignore the fact, if you're comparing these two side by side, that the Galaxy A53 seems to be more choppy because of the Exynos 1280 chip, which is the reason why that Samsung is kind of ditching away with Exynos for a while until they kind of revamp and remap the entire project, and they come back with future Exynos chips, probably hopefully running a whole lot better than what we've seen currently to date. Now, aside from that, the Galaxy A53 does boast a bigger display and an overall bigger body compared to the Pixel 4a. So this really just comes down to like a subjective type thing. If you want, a smaller device, or you want a much larger device, you'll be tempted to sway either way, just depending on your preference, right? The Pixel 4a being a very, very compact device, so if you're really looking for such a smaller device, this has got you here. And then the other big caveat between the Pixel 4a and the Galaxy A53, obviously, is the A53 does have 5G. So if you're someone that absolutely needs 5G connectivity, then the A53's got you there. The 4a does not. It's probably one of the things that I really questioned about Google, why they didn't put 5G in this. Because when the phone released, I would have been okay with it being $399 for the Pixel 4a if it brought in 5G, which its bigger counterpart, the 4a 5G, does have that, as well as the Pixel 5. So it was just strange that they didn't decide to lead into it, but it does make sense because they wanted the Pixel 5 to be the one to launch with 5G. So I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyways, aside from that, for those who are definitely always on the displays of smartphones, The Galaxy A53 does boast 120 hertz refresh rate, as the Pixel 4a only has up to 60 hertz, and that's it. However, when it comes to fluidity, because of the software optimization, it is much more smoother of a viewing on the Pixel 4a than it is on the Galaxy A53, and that's just really just kind of chopping it up to what it is. Overall battery life, they both do really good in that department. The 4a slightly edges over the Galaxy A53, as comparing previous screen times between them, just about a hair, 45 minutes to half an hour more of screen on time with the Pixel 4a versus the Galaxy A53. But that's probably largely to do with the fact that this device is an LTE device and this is a 5G device, and if you have 5G turned on, it will use up more of your battery than on an LTE device that would not consume so much battery. Overall, they got their plus and minuses, and for me, if you want to know where I feel about this, I'm always about software optimization and fluidity. So the Pixel 4a in my book takes it over the Galaxy A53, and that's just because things like 5G and 120 hertz refresh rate doesn't really matter to me. Okay, but that's my thing. You guys comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys feel would have been the victor between these two. And going off into the next round in this video, and that is the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 against the Pixel 4a. And a lot of you guys are going to probably be a little shocked in some areas, but you know what? Like, just listen on through. And if you made it this far into this video, smash that like button. Don't forget to do that, because that does help circulate this video so other people can find it and listen to what I have to say about the Pixel 4a versus some of today's modern devices. So we're looking at the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024 and the Pixel 4a, two really good, again, budget devices. And yes, I call this a budget mid-range device because it is not boasting a Tensor chip. Again, Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G. So just keep that in mind. Now, in this, it's a little bit of a different tale, as yes, one of the main things that the Moto G Stylus will have over the Pixel 4a, again, is that 5G. This is a 5G capable device, and this one is not. But besides that, there are some other areas that the Moto G Stylus edges over the Pixel 4a, and that is also the display for some, 120 hertz refresh on the Moto G Stylus, and 60 hertz refresh on the Pixel 4a. And that's pretty much really what the Moto G Stylus has going for it. Now, when you think about the processor chips, both are from Qualcomm and they are mid-range devices. You got the 6th Gen 1 in the Moto G Stylus 2024, and you got the 730G chip. So obviously you guys know that Qualcomm kind of renamed their generation chips. So the 600 series ended up becoming the 6th Gen 1. And then obviously there'll be a 6th Gen 2, 6th Gen 3. They're kind of going that naming route rather than 627, 650, 689 or whatever. They're not going with the full triple digits. But even though this has a newer Qualcomm chip and it is the 6th Gen 1, and this has an older 700 series chip, the 730G, fluidity does seem to be a bit better on the Pixel 4a. Again, probably due to the fact that there's not a whole lot going on with the Pixel experience, is what we've dubbed, the stock vanilla Android. There's not a lot happening here. Now, when you think about it, the Moto G Stylus 2024 has some things baked into it that is additional on Android besides stock Android, right? You got to have support for the stylus, for the different features and stuff that you can do with the stylus, as well as built-in features from Moto. And since Moto doesn't really make its own user interface anymore, aka Moto Blur, it's really kind of running close to stock Android. Just some additional things, which I think is what saps up the performance on the Moto G Stylus 2024 compared to the Pixel 4a. So when you kind of think about it, it does kind of make sense that, that the 4a would be a little bit more fluid, just because there's not a whole lot going on with it. It's just basically stock Android. You got basic features on there, so forth, right? On this one, technically for me, I'm going to say that the Pixel 4a takes it on that one. And you guys are probably like, no, it doesn't. And Look, it's totally okay if you guys feel different, right? Like I want you guys to answer in the comments which you think. If you think that both the G Stylus and the Galaxy A53, dominate over the Pixel 4a, say so. There's no wrong answer here. It's what you guys think. At the end of the day, these are all mid-range devices, okay? And really what I'm just trying to showcase here is just how well the Pixel 4a has aged compared to these two devices. They're all great in their own right. You gotta think, with these two devices being more modern, having more modern features, they should easily smash the Pixel 4a if you kind of think about it as far as gap in years and also in software support, software optimization, and features. And that's really not the case when it comes to the Pixel 4a. Like, it does lose out on the 5G connectivity compared to both of these. It does lose out on the refresh rate for the display. It does. However, audio on the Pixel 4a is pretty great, and it is so on these. The G Stylus 2024 has a headphone jack, same as the 4a. The Galaxy A53 doesn't have that, but then you also have to think about this too. Besides it having a headphone jack and everything like that, this should have been easily smashed out by these two devices. However, the Snapdragon 730G is holding up pretty well. So the Pixel 4a holding up pretty good in 2024 is really what I'm trying to point out at. And my dog probably saw someone walking by, so she's always a 5-star security alarm. At the end of the day, the Pixel 4a does pretty good, and it is still worth looking at in 2024 if you want something that's sub $100 that's going to deliver a really good experience. The Pixel 4a has got that. But if you absolutely need 5G, there are some other notable devices to mention, like its bigger brother, the 4a 5G, or you can even just go up to the Pixel 5a to get that 5G experience. However, there is a little bit some caveats to the Pixel 5a, which we will talk about in a future video compared to the 4a. But that's what I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for checking out today's video. If you guys enjoyed it all, smash the like button. Please comment below what you think of entirely between these three devices. And that's it for right now. And use the promo code in the description. Take advantage of that. Try out Helium Mobile. Get your first month for free. You may not be disappointed by it. I'll talk to you on the next one. Allah.